Oh goodness, took us a minute, but we finally got ourselves online, and it was my fault. I couldn't get the sound to work. I'm Sam. I'm a realtor. I'm a health coach, and I do these interviews about once a week. Used to do them back during the pandemic, and I started doing them again because I have people like Chef Diamond who are small business people who are getting themselves off the ground, who are working really hard. And I just felt like so many people had things to share. So I invited Diamond to join me because I love, first of all, Diamond, I love your Instagram posts. I do not eat meat, but you almost have me convinced. She's got a business. It's called That Creole Girl Kitchen. She is a personal chef. She cooks every week in San Antonio. And she also is a caterer. And she does have pop ups every once in a while here and there. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Let me adjust your volume real quick. Okay. All right. Just be sure to speak up because it's a little quiet on your side. It might be quiet on my side too, for all I know.
Yes, ma'am.
Anyhow, I'm really glad you joined me today. I'm excited to share you with the world, the part of the world that doesn't know who you are yet.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. I'm going to give a little story about how I even know who you are. And the thing is that Diamond and my daughter Sophia went to school together at UT San Antonio. And the first year that Sophia was at school, she lived in a dormitory, and the dorm had like a public area sort of in the courtyard. And, it was like the laundry room, but then there was also a kitchen. So people could come and eat together if they wanted some community. And one day I came to visit, and there was someone in there cooking, and I was like, "Oh, that's cool. People do use that little community area." And she said, "Yeah, that's my friend Diamond. She cooks for everybody." And I was like, "Seriously?" So you were just there at school, working your way through school, which by the way, your degree's not cooking. It's nothing to do
Mm-mm.
with cooking. Although, what is it? Biochemistry? Am I right?
Biomedical
Bio.
engineering. It all sounds the same.
Yeah.
Chemistry, medicine, medical, anything.
Yeah, but the thing is, I mean, you could say cooking is chemistry,
It is.
and it
It's
is
the
definitely,
science.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it is definitely a science. But you don't have that type of scientific background. How did you get started cooking? Like,
I used to be in the kitchen always with my mom growing up.
mhm,
And at the point in time when my dad was in my life, I used to be in the kitchen with my dad too. Just in the kitchen at anybody's house, period. I'll be up in there watching them cook. If they need my help, I used to cut the bell peppers and onions at a young age.
yeah,
That was my job because some people were sensitive to onions, and I guess I was strong eyes. I had strong eyes that I could just do it. And so over the years, I just grew more in my task of helping out the way I could, and then just started cooking myself little things and turned to big things. And so, yeah.
yeah. Well, it sounds like, and I may be wrong, but it sounds like you liked to be around people. Like you like to
Mm-hmm.
be around your family members when they were in cooking. And a lot of times, the most of the socialization that we have are, being in the kitchen, whether it's just like at a party, everyone all of a sudden shows
Mm-hmm.
up in the kitchen. You're like, there's a whole living room or whatever.
Right.
But it's like a community place to be, and it sounds like you did that with your family, but then you took it a step further, you even took it to
Right.
college with
I
you.
took it to college. Had everybody up in there. "Hey, what
Yeah,
you cooking today?" "Something. It's gonna be ready in like an hour." That's how it used to be. And then sometimes I used to like sell food. I started out selling food, but then I had my days where I just blessed people like it was for free. And so
yeah,
I still try to do that now to this day. I like go downtown and give to the homeless whenever I
yeah,
could. I
yeah,
want to do more of that. That's a bigger picture in regards to that. So yeah.
Well, very good. I'm really impressed. Was that when you were in college, did you have like, was that like, did you have to work your way through college, or was that part of the way you got some extra money every once in a while, or that just
So see,
that
that
money?
was when I went to college. I was really really lonely. I didn't like I have family out here, but we weren't really connected on that level. Like, over the years being here, I had got more involved and reached out and stuff like that. But I was really like in a new city, didn't have any money, and
Yeah.
I didn't have a job at the time, so I started cooking. So
Yeah.
using whatever I did have,
Mhm.
because I know going to college. Because when I packed my stuff to college, I had bought my mom bought me like a lot of noodles and snacks and stuff,
Yeah.
but I'm not a noodle and snack type of person. So I'm like, they were just my room, and then I have people come in all the time. It's like, can I have this? Like, take it all, take it all. And
Yeah.
so I wanted to cook food for myself too, and just knowing that other people are hungry. This is a new place, new city for everyone else around me. I chose to cook because I knew how to cook at the time. Not as good as I cook now, but it was better. It was good, better than noodles.
Yeah.
And so at first it was like to put a little extra money in my pocket, but it didn't really was putting the money in my pocket. It's more of a like replenishing my funds to buy more food so I can
Yeah.
bless more people
Yeah.
bi-weekly. And then the next semester I did had got a job and then would do this like just to bless people in general. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think you do bless people. You bless my eyes, like I say, every time I'm looking at the pictures. But I will say, or I wanted to ask you, like, not everything you cook is like Creole or Cajun in
Hmm.
origin. You know, you cook a wide variety of things. I've seen just like kind of like baked or poached salmon and vegetables, you know, all the way to fried chicken and waffles that would put me right to sleep because they look like they have so much yummy, sugary
Hmm.
goodness
Hmm.
on them.
Hmm.
You know, you do everything from, you know, one end of the spectrum to the
Exactly.
other. I was just looking on Instagram a minute ago, and it looks like you did some lamb chops
Hmm. Yes,
yesterday,
ma'am.
I guess.
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
Yeah. Well, I don't eat lamb either, and they looked really good.
They were tender, tender, tender.
Oh,
So
yeah,
I'm
that's
teasing you over here.
yeah, that's very good.
But no,
Well,
I range in my cuisines because I like to eat. Well, I lost 20. That's for my meal prep side of the my business. Meal prepping is helps me a lot maintaining my weight and being healthy. But there's a lot of people that love comfort food, so I do that. And then I love like elegant dishes too, so I experiment in those dishes. And so it's all over the place to fit everybody. So it's to welcome everyone. Even like at some points of time when I'm like fasting and stuff, I do like vegan and vegetarian meals. And so no one has saw those things because I never posted those things. 'Cause I'm not big in social media, but they
yeah.
will come. But yeah, I just do a lot of different things so I can bless everyone. In
Mhm.
particular, though, it's not associated to one type of food,
Yeah.
or one type of person,
Mhm.
So.
Yeah, and meal prepping is, you know, I'm not the healthiest person in the world, but I definitely like to guide myself towards the healthier
Hmm.
choices when, you know, a percentage of the time,
Yes,
let's
ma'am.
say. And things like meal prep, I think, are really valuable for people who are trying to, you know, address certain whatever, you know, whatever
Hmm.
their dietary needs, or maybe they're trying to lose weight, or maybe they just want to, you know that the things that they grab out of the fridge or the pantry is going to be not the best thing. So having the healthy stuff
Hmm.
around is always a good thing. I didn't realize you did that, and that's good to know about.
Yes, ma'am. That's
But
why I look like this. People like, how you how you look like that and you cook all this good food? And I'm like, see, I have to discipline myself. And so that's where the meal preps come in. Like yesterday, I didn't have any meal preps available because I've been
mhm,
slacking. And
yeah,
so I was looking at the macaroni
yeah,
and I took a couple bites of it and I was
yeah,
like, You're gonna pay for this, Diamond. You're gonna pay for this. So when I do have my meal preps, it helps me be
Yeah.
disciplined,
Yeah.
and it helps me go about um my goals with my health,
Yeah.
at a consistent pace. And
Yeah.
so when I don't, I do get tempted, and I'm
Yeah.
like, dang it. But then I hold myself back because I'm like, I can't eat this. I'm sorry. It's so good though. I'm glad I can taste test because as
Yeah.
a cook, you have to taste everything.
Sure.
I'm glad I get to do that
Yeah.
because it gives me a little bit of little sneak peek action, a
Right.
little cheat. So we love some cheating
Yeah.
regards to
Yeah.
food.
Yeah, for sure. Well, people, are constantly just giving you all kinds of compliments about your food. You, my understanding, you told me that you grew up in New Orleans and then in Houston. Um,
Yeah.
so is that your family's from
Yeah, we
Louisiana?
are
That's,
originally from New Orleans.
mhm.
Everybody's from New Orleans, my dad's side and my mom's side.
Mm,
So we have roots, real roots down there.
yeah.
Now everybody is spread apart, like the different cities, different states and stuff.
Mhm.
But we're still representing everywhere we go.
Yeah. Well, I guess, are any of your recipes like family recipes or just kind of you just developed your own flavor
I
over the
think
years?
um I think some things like gumbo is I watched my mama cook. I don't think I ever cooked it with her. I watched her cook it when I was young, and then for a long time she didn't cook. It was like another person cooking, but I think I took whatever I had like when I was real young, probably like from the age of 5 to 10 or something like that. Whatever, she used to cook gumbo a lot, and I feel like I took her basis of it and just made it better because we cook differently,
Yeah.
and I just used some of her flavors like the base of gumbo and
Mhm.
just turn it to my own way.
Mhm. Yeah, that's cool. That every chef has to have their own signature, their
Hmm.
own flavor. But I know some people. My neighbor is from Louisiana, and I have another one of my good friends from Louisiana, and yeah, they're pretty picky about the
They're pretty
flavors.
picky. Uh-huh.
Not
Yeah.
everything is okay, at the restaurants that, claim to be.
Hmm. That's
So,
me. That's me.
yeah.
I'm picky. No, like coming to college, all the kids, well, all this, young adults would be like, "Oh, let's go to this place because it's so good," and they hype it up, and then I'll go, and I'm like, "This, I wasted my money. It's
You
not
spend it
good." Because
on
I think I know food so much so well, like as a flavor,
yeah.
that if it doesn't have flavor, it is not good to me, or if it's too like I feel like a lot of people like sodium, and I don't really like that much sodium. So if it's
Mhm.
too salty, it's not good for me because
Yeah,
it's like it's overpowering. Like the salt
yeah,
is overpowering the other flavors. And so I think I was always a food critic, like a big food critic. And so when people I'm like, let me know how my food tastes. You can be honest. And so they be honest, and I'm like, okay, I'm glad you like it.
so that's interesting that you don't care for sodium. Do you minimize the amount of salt that
Oh
you put
yes,
in the
I try.
food?
I use it. I use more spice, like ground seasonings, more than I use
Mhm.
sodium. I probably do like a little
Yeah,
bit of salt, just depending on the dish. Sometimes I don't even use salt,
well,
because I feel like
good.
it's unnecessary sometimes. But if
Yeah,
I do need it, I'll just put a little bit just to bring into that space.
yeah, yeah. Well, that's good. So you're kind of even though you have things like fried catfish and,
Hmm.
lots of mashed potatoes and
Hmm.
all that kind of stuff, you're still sort of keeping it a little on the healthier side,
Hmm.
which is good because it is true when you go to restaurants, a lot of times it's got way, a lot of butter, a lot of salt and all the things. Yeah.
And I've worked in restaurants. So as a
Mhm.
server, not in the kitchen, I was like, you guys don't pay a lot to work in the kitchen. No. Mm-mm. And it's two different personalities in the kitchen and restaurants. I'm like, I need a strict line. So they're always like, you know how to cook? Come back here. And I'm like, nope. And I see what they put up in the dishes and stuff. And they be like,
Yeah.
No, why all that butter? Why
Yeah.
all that oil? Why all that? And it's like, mm-mm. And so one time my cousin was like, you can't go into people's kitchen. You're going to change up their recipes and you're going to change the whole restaurant. I'm like, I know. I need
Yeah.
to stay away.
Yeah, just stay
So
away and do your
I
own
need to stay
thing.
away.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Well, so tell us a little bit about how, I've mentioned that you post your menus, but tell me a little bit about how you work and like, you know, on your regular chef, as a
Yes,
personal chef,
ma'am.
like, and whatever. You tell me about your business.
So I want well, the plan is for that Creole Girl Kitchen to be open like 7 days a week. So right now, at the moment, my schedule is based off weekly menus. So if I have, they're all random days out of the week. Say for this week, it was yesterday, to Thursday, and Friday and Saturday. I'm increasing my days now. At first, it used to be 2 days out of the week,
Hmm.
but this is my job right now.
Right.
So
Yeah.
and this will be my job for the years to come.
Yeah. Good.
But so it's like random menus. Some people think it's like set every week. It's like on a specific day, the same stuff. No, it's like random
Mhm.
meals because I am versatile in my cooking,
Yeah.
and I get tired of the same stuff over and over. So I try to make sure it's different every day of
Mhm.
the week, and I'll probably bring back stuff like a week or two afterwards.
Mhm.
Um, it's like weekly menus. I do brunch and dinner options. So brunch is usually available from 11 to 2, or
Mhm.
even if you want it later on in the evening, I have it available too. It's
Mhm.
everything's made fresh to order. Even dinner, for dinner, like proteins are made fresh to order. If there's like size that's pre-made, the proteins are definitely made fresh to order.
Mhm.
Pasta, everything is made fresh to order. So I've
Mhm.
had pasta days. The noodles, the cheese sauce, the meats, anything is made fresh to order. Um, I also do meal preps and private chef events. So those are more planned accordingly to like time and month. And that's how I base off my weekly menus. The schedule of my weekly menus are based off if I have any catering or meal preps
Okay.
to do. So that's how it's so random. And
Mhm.
sometimes I even do last minute menus because some people be
Yeah.
hitting me like, "Do you have this today? Are you cooking today?" And I'm like, I wasn't. Today was my day off, but I guess I am. I just like putting smiles on people's face and
Yeah.
like, satisfying their hunger
Yeah.
the best way I could. And so it's always fun for me to cook, and it's always a good experience. Like it's like for me, it's good spirit, like good vibe, good energy when I cook, and I try
Mhm.
to, even when I'm cooking, I like to pray that whatever I'm feeling, my good energy flows through the food, so it can
Yeah.
fill somebody's tummies and bless their days and stuff. So yeah, so weekly menus. I do catering. I have a link tree available
Okay.
where people can fill out a form for catering and meal preps. The deadlines are usually 24 hours to 48 hours in advance.
Mhm.
My meal preps do start off at 8 meals a week.
Mhm.
Because so I don't waste any food
Yeah.
wasting any food. So 8 meals a week, and it ranged between like $12 to $17 a meal, based off your diet and your restrictions and whatever you like. So yeah, and then the meal preps. Yeah, that's the meal preps and the catering. They have different catering menus, like if you want pan orders, if I just show up with pans, or if you can pick up your pans, that we have that available. And if
Mhm.
you actually want me at your event, private chefing, like set up with my chafing sets and plates and everything, that's a different price. And
Mhm.
it just ranges between the services. So I
Right.
try to be busy, and I want to be more busy.
Yeah.
And so as time goes by, I become more busy. So that's a good thing.
Mhm.
Even though
Yeah.
my days are slow, I'd be like, oh, it's slow. And then the next day I'd be busy. And I'm like, okay, it's a balance. And
It
so,
is.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. The food business isn't always easy to
Mhm.
be in because, like you said, some days it's not busy and then you end up with all this stuff and you got,
Mhm.
food that you can't do anything with. But it's good that it's balancing out. So about like the private catering, I mean, do you mostly do that in San Antonio? Do you go to Houston? Do you ever come to Austin?
So
Or what's the
I've done private catering in Houston. I do want to travel to anywhere. I do want to do more in Dallas and Austin, San Antonio, these cities that I know of. And then I also want to like travel to different states if that's where exposure comes, where I have to put myself out there more to be able to do that more.
Yeah.
If I'm available to do anything, anywhere, so, you know,
You're just looking for the
the
experience and exposure.
opportunity, the
Mhm.
exposure, you know, it's
Yeah.
gonna come.
Yeah, it is going to come. Well, I was real excited. I did ask you by email before we, as we were planning this. I said, what's your big plan? Like what's your goal? You were talking about maybe opening up a food truck, but I loved it that that's not where you were stopping.
Oh no.
You've got big plans.
Mm-mm.
What do you think? What's your dream?
I don't know. So when I was younger, I had a lot of dreams, and they're all coming back to me. Like it means that I'm like probably destined to do those things,
Yeah,
and so I feel like they always was hanging on to me. So
yeah,
right now with the food things, this is like just one of the venues that I want to expand in and
mhm,
put a name on. But I want to start with a food truck. That's the first goal is a food truck, and then most likely using my degree like to partner with that food and health to
yeah,
partner together and use that in my food truck and anything else like meal prepping and all that stuff,
yeah,
um, and then to open up more food trucks and stuff,
yeah.
and then to open up a cafe, like different small cafes, little petite cafes, um,
Nice.
to bring the culture and the vibes and love to people. um, and then I have other things that I want to do not related to food. So they all will come into place. But food is where my passion is, and that's where we're starting right now.
Mhm. Yeah. Well, very good. Very good. Yeah. And I think that sometimes you just have to put it out there and, tell people, tell yourself, tell people.
Mhm.
And you never know, someone might have a great idea and a compliment or a way to make it all happen. And like you also told me in your bio, you said that you want to use your talents to glorify the Lord. And I think anytime you're wanting to bless people with the love of God, then God's going to pay you back. And
Mhm.
so I think that this is. I'm just excited for you. I can't wait to see what happens. I've been talking to Sophia about you. I'm like, I'm sorry, Sophia, but
I'm
I
a big
really think about
fan.
Diamond a lot, and I see her food on the thing, and I'm like, I think you're going places, and I definitely know you're going in people's stomachs because people love your
Mhm.
food, and
Mhm.
that's a great way to people's hearts is through their
Right.
stomach,
My
right?
motto is love God, love food, love people. So love God first. The
Mm,
food is the connection, and
yeah,
I love people. So it all works out together. And
yeah.
that's the type of person I am. I love God. I love food. I love people.
Man, I was thinking I should have downloaded some pictures from your Instagram. I wonder if I can pull them up now and show people some of your
Some of my great food, great eating.
yeah, yeah, some of your great food. But yeah, I think that just seeing, like I said, I mean, I'm not um uh into meat.
Mm-hmm.
Nor
You
am
get
I
a little
into
tempted.
I mean, I love a good waffle for sure, but man, every time I see those, I'm like, there is no way I cannot have that in my
Mhm.
proximity because I will
And
eat
guess
the entire
what?
thing.
I'm bringing out two more flavors today.
You are?
So you're going to be more tempted. Uh-huh. It's peach cobbler and blueberry cheesecake.
Waffles.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, next time I come to San Antonio, I'm gonna have to order some stuff and especially like peach cobbler
Mm-hmm.
waffles for Steve because he's gonna want to try those.
Mhm.
and everything. Well, I can pull up the pictures, but I'm gonna go ahead and, I will definitely make sure there's a link to your information, once I repost everything and get everything up on, YouTube and everything.
Yes,
And,
ma'am.
and for sure, anything I can do to help, and I hope that anyone out there who's got, a willingness or an interest in supporting someone getting started in the food industry and getting, with big goals and motivations and wanting to, move forward and expand and make things really happen on a national scale at the
Yes.
very least.
Mhm.
Just drop a line here and I'll pass the word along or reach out to her directly. But you were saying, you don't have a website, you just really have the Instagram, and that's how you do
Just the
things, right?
Instagram. I'm
Hmm.
in the process of making a website. I
Yeah.
want to be able to make it like within the next month or so
Yeah.
because I think I'm getting the way that things are working. It's going really fast, and
Yeah.
so I need stuff right now.
Yeah.
Um, so even like my LLC and stuff, I'm working. I need to do that soon.
Yeah.
And website next, and everything situated. I have to be very strategic in my planning because sometimes I say that I'll do it, and then the time passed by. So I'm working on making good habits and
Yeah.
following whatever I said that needs to be done. That I do it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. Well, you have a lot going on. Sometimes it's hard to keep track of everything, but it seems like you're really moving, taking those positive strides. And um, oh, I forgot what I was going to say. What else can I do to, like, what can the audience do to support you? I mean, clearly, if someone is in San Antonio and they want to follow your Instagram, they can always order from you just by sending you a DM. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am. You
Okay.
can always DM me. You can email. I have my email on there too, so I can accept DMs, messages from email, my Facebook business account,
Okay.
and my Instagram business account. Um, yeah, and I would like for people just to spread the word, even
Yeah.
if you don't eat the foods that I do have, that one day you will eat something from me,
Yeah.
but share it with your friends and your family, your
Yeah.
coworkers, because they might like food. I think everybody loves food.
Everyone needs
And,
it, right?
yeah, and sometimes we waste our money on food that doesn't taste good and doesn't
Yeah.
feed our souls. So
Yeah.
it'll be good to just share the word. Like that's the most free thing to do is share. And so I meet a lot of people that just share
Yeah.
my menus or my food or just tell
Mhm.
somebody, and that's where I get customers mostly. It's like,
Mhm.
oh, somebody told me about you, and I'm like, I never served that person before, but they did share my stuff, and so I do appreciate any support from any spectrum.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So one question that came to mind, because I did see you post recently that you were looking for delivery drivers, I think, and
Mhm.
servers, like for catering. So yeah, I was wondering how do people get the fruit? Like once someone orders from you, there is a
So at
delivery
the
option. Are they coming to pick it up from you or what?
So at the moment, I do have pickup and delivery. This last week, I haven't been really delivering as much because it gets very time consuming because
Mm,
I'm the delivery driver too.
yeah,
So
that's
it's like messes with my other orders that I have, and sometimes you're stuck in traffic, and
yeah.
the time management doesn't work well when you're out delivering because anything can happen. Like I
Right.
had got a flat tire
Oh,
after one
gosh.
delivery. I think that was Sunday or Monday. I got a flat tire, so I couldn't deliver at all 2 days after that. And
Yeah.
so I am looking for delivery drivers to better help me out and to like help bring people some money in their pockets as well. And
Mhm.
for catering too, I just recently did a event for 72 people,
Yeah.
and I only had a few people helping out, well, one or two people helping out, and I feel like I need more, especially for big catering events. You need more
Right.
hands on deck.
Mhm.
There were people there helping out, like with the event that they were already helpers, so that was a good thing for me. But as in the future, because I know the way this is going faster, that I'll
Mhm.
have more catering events and I would need more hands on deck. And so
Yeah.
I'm trying to sort that out and get like reasonable pricing, payment, pay details, and try to be able to have it ready by a certain time. So yeah, so I can progress and not
Yes.
be held back. And so
Yeah. Yeah. And keep up the quality of what you're doing. Yeah. Yeah.
and not be stressed out
Yeah. Oh,
because it gets very stressful in
I
this cooking industry.
can imagine. Oh my
I
goodness.
sometimes I'm like I should have did like sweets or like even though I can do like sweets, I'm more of a food girl. I love to
Yeah.
eat
Mhm.
food. So the sweets is just extra, but sometimes I wish I'm like, why did I do this? And I do it every time I cook a lot. And I
Yeah.
do like too much sometimes and I'm like, why did I do this to myself? And so why do I got this talent? Because this is not an easy industry. It's like
Yeah.
very like stressful at times and like difficult. Like, cause I feel like I'm more of like my food's like quality flavor, and I feel like it's restaurant quality.
Yes.
And yes, I don't have a food truck or a restaurant, but
Mhm.
it gets a little bit difficult in pricing everything and
Yeah.
making sure everybody can have it, and some people can't have it because it is out of their reach price range and stuff like
Mhm.
that. And so I'm like, I'm sorry, and I'm so kind-hearted too. Sometimes I want to be super nice, and I feel like when I first started back doing this, because I used to do it over the years, when I started back doing it this year, I was find myself being nice a lot, and then I'm losing money, and
Yeah.
so you have to take business and personal and
Yeah.
understand for me to grow I have to be strict and I
Yeah.
have to think business wise
Yeah.
um, because if I don't there's no business for me.
That is very true. That is very true.
So
It
I
all
have
has a balance.
learned through some losses and I'm
Yeah.
still learning.
Yeah.
um, I'm still learning and so that's
Well, and you're learning this, on your like, basically on your own. It's not like you
Mhm.
have someone who's taking you
Mhm.
under their wing or, very much, or, you're just kind of figuring this out as you
Yes,
go. And I
ma'am.
think you're doing an excellent, excellent job. And by the way, for anyone who does order food from her, her portions are really big because she is generous and
I
she's
was
trying to make sure she like substantiates those prices. Um,
I was told because I have a chef friend that lives in the area that I live in, and
yeah,
he ordered foods for me, and like he said I should, um, he said I should charge my food more since I make like double portion food, like
yeah.
plates and stuff. That is
Mhm.
a lot of food, and or at least cut it and cut the food portions in half and serve it like that. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah,
It is a lot of food. It is a lot of food.
yeah,
I think you would be full and you have leftovers.
yeah,
Because I like to pour love on a plate, and
yeah,
so
absolutely.
a lot of love, a
A
lot of
lot of love.
love.
All right. Well, we've been talking for about 30 minutes, and I want to
Mhm.
be respectful of your time and, everyone's time who's watching this. So
Yes, ma'am.
we can just close out here. And, but, we, as mentioned, anyone out there who's watching this, you're looking for some excellent, excellent, not only Creole kitchen food, but, a variety of different types of food. Definitely go to her Instagram or her Facebook page and check it out. If you've got some work events that need catering, you have, I guess, wedding, any type of event that needs catering anywhere, at least for right now in the state of Texas, it sounds like you're open to traveling.
Mhm.
And we've got a peach cobbler request in the chat. Those are peach cobbler waffles.
Mm-hmm.
Exact. All right. That's something to look forward to for sure.
Yes, ma'am.
But anyhow, well, thank you so much for coming on here with me. I'm sorry we got started a little late, but we got it figured out and we got you here, and we're going to have to check back with you in a few months and see where things stand. That's all right.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
All right.
ma'am.
All right.
Thank you for the opportunity for being here.
Absolutely. It's my pleasure. All right. See you later.
See you later.